Hey y'all, welcome to episode 39 of the Stay Home Son podcast. And today we have a very interesting, one of a kind review on our channel. And I know we normally say that, but this is definitely an interesting film. It's the first of its kind we filmed. This film is called Roachnado by Mayhem Films, and it is completely an AI made film, which is something that I'm sure is super controversial. There's a lot of different things. We're gonna have a very objective view on this. We don't really have too much to say negative or positive. We're just gonna look at this just the way it is. So anyway, Thomas, you want to get started with your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. But basically what happens is in the movie a stuntman basically gets fired because or yeah, yeah, he was a stunt double, right? Yeah, he was a stunt double. He got fired because he violated a no contact clause, and it's kind of funny because everybody knows about the no contact clause but him apparently. So he meets the scientist who's actually responsible for all the roaches that are coming through coming through Los Angeles, and they basically have to kind of try to get rid of them somehow.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting movie. I remember him telling me that it was AI shot, but for like the first 10 minutes, I totally forgot it was AI shot because I was like, man, they really got the roaches looking good. And I realized it was on AI. And I'll tell you, right when I found out it was AI, I immediately was like kind of taken back, like, wow, I can't believe this is a full AI length feature film. But once I put that kind of shock behind me, I kind of paid attention to the story. And the story was interesting. I like the idea of roaches kind of take it over like that. And I think it was cool that like the reason they took over was actually because some genius scientist was coming up with this plan that was going to help like regenerate limbs for people who were amputated. So it's kind of like one of those things, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I kind of like that it wasn't like an evil scientist trying to like contaminate the world with roaches. It was like a good man who was trying to make something that was really going to help the world and ended up getting contaminated. I think that kind of makes it a little more interesting. There's some really funny scenes in the movie. I thought the scene, I mean, I started dying laughing. Did you see this part where he caught his wife cheating on him?
Oh yeah, with the kind of like pudgy white guy. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
really
yeah, but did
funny.
you see like what they were doing? Like he had like the bunny mask on. He was like into that femdom.
Oh my God.
Dude, I started sobbing laughing. It was so funny because I was like, "This is so goofy." And then he just drives away on his bike, and he has like that slow scene where he's like up on the Hollywood Hills, and he's overlooking it, and like tears start coming down. It was crazy, and but it from an AI perspective, I definitely think AI still has a way to go with its filmmaking because there was some character, like the acting in it was a little bit, I guess you could say a little stale, just because I don't think AI has enough like infliction to their characters yet. But it was definitely cool. I mean, the characters look good. The characters move pretty realistically. There was some glitches though. I don't know if they did that on purpose to be funny because it was kind of funny. But like the news anchor that was talking about the roaches, there was a scene where he randomly turned into a knight, and there was another scene where he randomly turned into a clown. And I don't know if that was like an AI psychosis thing where the AI was making something that shouldn't have been there because I have that problem sometimes if I'm trying to use it for stuff. But it like pictures and stuff, I never done it with like a film or movie or
I thought that
video.
was a running gag that they did. I didn't realize that was AI.
Well, it could be AI. I mean, that's the thing. If it's a running gag, it's hilarious. But if it was AI and it was unintentional, that's still pretty dang funny too. But I know AI because sometimes I'll tell AI to generate like because for our documentary we're coming up with, I was like, hey, can you generate me proof? So I kind of gave him a rough idea of what I wanted. This isn't going to be the final poster, but it gives me an idea for proof because I can't draw for shit. So it helps me kind of get a better drawing to send to someone who actually knows what they're doing. And there would be like times where it would like almost like glitch out. Like I'd say add an apple and like it will show like a whole freaking orange grove. Like that's not apples. So you know what I mean? It'll like kind of mess up sometimes. So I was wondering if that was like an AI mistake or if that was to be intentional. I thought the homeless guy holding the sign throughout it was a running gag. I thought that was pretty funny. And then another thing that killed me is when he went to the scientist house where the rich guy, he's like super rich, has like this huge mansion. When the stunt devil goes to the scientist's house and you see the pictures of the guy, it's all the pictures, like his pictures of like his past and stuff that you would hang up on your wall. It's all pictures him wearing the same outfit he's wearing in the scenes. So I think that's kind of funny that AI just was like, yeah, I guess this is the only outfit this guy's ever worn.
Actually, funny enough, I didn't realize that the movie was AI, but I should have put two and two together because, like, I thought that the news reporter sounded a little weird, but I don't know, just for some reason I didn't put two and two together, but it all makes sense now. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and I think it's a gutsy move for Mayhem Films, because like, okay, a lot of indie people, like, let's be honest, a lot of people in the indie world hate AI. They hate the idea of AI. They don't want to, they think it's a bad thing. They think it's going to hurt filmmaking. And I would say that some of that is true, but I would say I think it could help a lot when it comes like working with filmmakers. Like, I think it's a really good resource if you work with it. I remember we interviewed those guys from Intruder Films a few months ago, and they basically told us about like, hey, AI is here, so you better learn how to use it, or else it's gonna replace you. And I think that's smart. I mean, I'll be honest, I use AI for some stuff, like when it comes like mainly proof designing for posters because I can't draw, so it helps me have like if you're trying to get a poster done for a film and you can't draw it out good and you have to send it to a graphic designer, it's not going to be a good product because they're going to be like, well, I don't know what to make of this. It looks like a child's scribble. But AI helps me kind of get a better baseline, and then I take that to an actual artist, that like a drawing graphic designer, and he'll come back with something really good. And before that, I probably would have really struggled with that because I'm not the best drawer. So I think AI is really helpful in that regard. I think making a whole feature with it, like we did, is a pretty groundbreaking, gutsy move, and I give them a lot of credit just for trying that. I think when they're on the festival circuit with this, they might get some, probably some pushback just because people are like, wow, I can't believe that you did all this with AI and you didn't use any local actors, you didn't use any local producers, you did it all that way. But you know what? I mean, I filmmaking's all about taking risk, and I think this was a big risk. And honestly, the story was funny, and I think it's cool too because, okay, I'm not sure the budget of this film, but like if you want to do a budget back in the day with like practical CGI effects of like a tornado with roaches coming at you, it would have costed you hundreds of thousands of dollars to program that in, even with like a live scene or anything like that, like a green screen. But nowadays with AI, I mean, you could probably do that fairly cheap. So I think it's cool that like filmmakers have access to using that. I kind of do wish that it was like AI acting, not AI actors, because I feel like acting is something that AI can't really completely replace. And I feel like set and stuff should be natural too, because there's some type like there's a warmth that comes with films for being like set in a real place, like this is the location of this film. This was the location of this film. And I think it's that's something AI can't replace. But when it comes to practical effects and CGI, I think filmmakers should be totally looking to AI for doing those because I think it's a cheaper alternative. I really do think that.
Yeah, I feel also if you use AI actors, like you didn't do your job as a director, like you should like, you know, cast. You have to cast well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean AI. I think the AI acting kind of took me off guard a little bit because I was just like, wow, like it would have been. I feel like the film would have been served better with actual actors, and then just use AI for like the practical effects and the roaches and stuff. I thought that would have been pretty cool. But I did think that the character, what was frustrating was the characters were interesting, like the character of the biker dude and the rich scientist. I mean, it was cool. Like they were cool characters. It was like I really would have liked to see someone bring them to life instead of a computer though, because the director did a good job writing interesting characters, and I think it was just a little bit. I don't know. I mean, he's probably figuring out. I'm sure he'll do other AI films in the future. I encourage you to keep trying more AI films if that's your style. It's definitely a bold take them do. But I would say, I would really say it would be cool to see you integrate real actors and real sets and real locations with the AI, if that's even possible. Because I don't have much experience with AI video editing, but if that's possible, I would definitely try to do that.
Yeah, and I think one part that I kind of liked in the movie, in the middle they went into Roachnado to try to put the solution or whatever in it to get rid of the roaches, and they were making out in the middle of the Roachnado. I thought it was kind of gross, so I wanted to point that out because I'm like, oh,
Yeah, there was a
all
lot of
right then.
there was a lot of really like funny scenes. Like it had like this like weird kind of humor in it where it was almost like you can't tell if it was a mistake or if it was intentionally to be funny. And a lot of times I was just dying laughing. Like I'm telling y'all, I haven't laughed that hard in forever since I saw that scene where he finds out that his wife's cheating on him with that pudgy guy. And but they're doing like the weirdest type of stuff. It's like, oh my gosh. It was crazy. It was all the place. It was definitely an interesting movie. I would probably watch it again just because now I really understand the AI thing, and it's definitely made me want to look more into like AI because I definitely see potential there. But I got to be honest, from an acting standpoint, I think AI is too low in its infancy. It's too much in its infancy stage to like really give like good performances with actors. Because I felt like the acting, the characters were cool, the design was okay, the 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 vibe and idea for the characters, which I'm sure is what the director came up with because he had to tell AI what he wanted, were really good. I just think the delivery on the lines with the AI is a little unnatural and kind of an uncanny way. It's almost like it's almost like they like imagine you're playing a video game and you press like a character, like you're playing GTA and you gotta get a character to talk. So he talks and he animates when he's talking, but then right when he's done with his line, he goes right back to like this like kind of like default setting. Acting, man, sometimes you gotta carry a scene even when you're not talking, like with emotions and with your facial expressions, like if something happens, even if you're not speaking, you got to be reacting to what's being said. I feel like AI is still having a hard time getting that reaction out of characters. It can do a decent job while it's delivering the lines, but when it comes to like its reaction to other lines, it's still got a long way to go, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it's ever, I mean, if it gets to that part where it has human emotions, then I'd kind of be scared a little bit, but we'll
Yeah,
see
I
what
don't
happens.
yeah, we'll see, man. I hope we're retired and out of the business before that happens because we might be out of a job. But no, I don't think it will ever replace humans completely. But I do think it would be really cool to see it work alongside humans. Because the best thing about AI, man, is like people like us and people like Mayhem Films and people that don't have these huge, huge budgets, we could have CGI effects in our films now, Maybe not right now, but like in the next few years, we'll probably be able to add more stuff with AI. So we can almost like work with AI. AI should always be an assistant, but I don't think it should ever be a replacement. But all in all, I think this is a really bold film. I think the story is really interesting and funny. I know he loves doing roaches. We watched Cocaine Roaches. That was a hilarious film. I think this film was a little more serious than Cocaine Roaches, but I feel like it was still kind of similar. I'm sure it was inspired off Sharknado a bit, which was cool. I mean, Sharknado was like a huge phenomenon for a little bit, so I see why you would want to double down. I thought the characters were cool. I just think that the delivery on the lines because of the AI still got a little bit to go, but I think the characters written were good. And honestly, I would love to see this movie shot with an actual cast one day, because it's a cool story and it's a cool premise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. It's kind of funny. I just a little grossed out by roaches.
Yeah, dude. Were you always scared of roaches, or did that just happen?
I think I was always.
Oh yeah, I'm not too freaked out by roaches, but my mom is, and we were back home in the Keys for vacation like a few years ago. It was like I think 2024. It was like when the Panthers won their first Stanley Cup, and because we watched the game. And anyway, there was a roach in the house because like Florida's full of bugs and stuff. And my mom was like terrified to go to sleep because she knew the roaches were there. So what I did was I basically baited it out. So it went into a dark room and I just turned off all the lights because they move when it's dark. And I waited for it to come out of the dark room to go into the other dark room. And then I turned the light on and said, "Gotcha," and smashed them.
Yeah.
So you can hunt for roaches. Like if you want to get one out, just find a dark room and let them go there and then just turn the light on and then surprise them. But what scares me, man, have you ever seen a roach fly? Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, I didn't know they could fly.
Exactly, dude. It's terrifying when they fly. Like they'll fly on your walls. Ugh, yeah. Ugh. And roaches are scary, man. They're disgusting.
I'm also terrified of snakes. North Carolina's also known for snakes too, so
Yeah, snakes are scary. They should do a snake NATO, dude. Imagine a snake NATO, a roach snake NATO, or a snake tsunami.
snakes.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But hey, I need to ask y'all, Mayhem Films. I want to see a Percocet Pigeon. I saw you promoting it on your Instagram. Definitely hit us up for a review of Percocet Pigeon. That sounds absolutely hilarious. I don't know if that's all AI or not, but that sounds really funny. But yeah, Tosh, you got any final thoughts?
Um, I think that like I said, I didn't realize there was AI initially, but I mean after watching this film I thought it was really funny and Percocet Vision sounds hilarious. So
Yeah, no, I really want to see Percocet Pigeon, man. I'm like right when I saw, I was like, yeah, I want to see some Percocet Pigeon. But yeah, no, very cool film, very innovative film. I don't think it's gonna be the most maybe acclaimed film just for the sense that I think people are gonna have some pushback just because it is AI. There's gonna be people who just hate it just because it's already AI, and then you're gonna have people who are objective and kind of like, well, you know what? It's interesting. It's just here's some things it could tweak. But all in all, I think it's a really cool film, and all filmmaking should be as bold and innovative. And at the end of the day, this film did exactly that. It made an innovative. I mean, we've been having how long of a conversation? About 13-minute conversation about a film. If you can make a film that can warrant a 13-minute after conversation, you did a pretty good job. So I'll give it a solid review. I'll say watch it, and I'll say watch it with an open mind. Watch it with an open mind. Just put the AI thing aside and just watch the film, and then make your own opinions. Because I wouldn't just say I'm not gonna watch it just because it's AI. That's what I would say. But all in all, pretty interesting film. We'll be looking out for Percocet Pigeon. And Thomas, you want to do the honors?
And remember, stay at home.
Yes, sir.